Hello, and welcome to Swing and a Crit Miss, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast where my friends and I play for our own enjoyment. We're not professionals, we're not amazing gamers, we just like playing and hope you'll enjoy our campaign as well. This content is intended for mature audiences, so for any of your younger folks out there, please be advised. And with that, welcome to Swing and a Crit Miss. All right, let's go ahead, let's get started. So last time, our lovely adventurers went on a little trip to essentially kill one of their own members, Auran Knight, and then Auran ended up murdering himself, unaliving himself in front of everyone and under the watch of the Court of Mages. And so the Court of Mages believes Auran to be dead, or what they knew of as Auran to be dead at this moment. And then it came to you guys, Auran having to find a body, and the rest of you guys kind of dealing with the fallout from that. And then you went up north to the fort of Tarian, where you discussed with the captain up there about the movement that they're seeing back and forth. You've traveled for 3 days, and sort of on the third day, you met a small little awakened squirrel, or a squirrel who could talk and cast illusory magic, who was fairly crotchety. But through talking with this squirrel, you discovered that he referred to the things that were moving up further up north as bodies. He didn't really say much beyond that, but that's what he described looking. And he also made it very much apparent that you guys traveling out here was an odd thing, since no one really comes out here in this further north area. With that, we ended the third day of travel, and there are 7 more days of travel left to go. I forget who we ended up with, who was going to roll for those next day of travel. So 3 d20 rolls to whoever wants it.
That's me.
All right, go for it.
1. 14.
Okay.
A 3.
Okay.
And a 9.
9. Your day goes as normal. Someone else roll for the 5th day of travel.
I got it. 1.
Nice.
3.
All right.
12. How many
All right.
rolls? Was that
Good.
it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Normal day. 6th day travel goes by just fine. The 7th day, who wants to roll
Alright.
that?
I got this. I don't know if order matters, but I'll just. All right, a 12, a 2, and a 5.
You guys are rolling low today.
Mhm.
7th day of travel goes fine. We need Zach. Why don't you roll for the 8th day?
Roll high. I want to be Muzz.
16.
Okay.
2.
Mhm.
And a 4.
And a 4. All right. Let me get out my little thing. Is this the right thing? Nope. This is a wrong book. Shit. Throw that out there. Oh God.
We don't know about anybody else watching this currently, but we are itching for a fight.
We are.
Where's my ding
Gonna
ding
go
book? There
Back
it
to
is.
that talking squirrel. See.
You want to
Yeah,
throw hands?
he's just gonna show up again. There's the right book. All of these books look the same, but all right, there we go. Right? Yes. Sorry. All right. As you begin progressing further and further, you begin to notice the weather getting to turn for the worst. As the snow begins to really set in and the wind picks up, you begin finding yourself heading towards the middle of a blizzard as you're starting out in the morning. Is there anything you would like to do in preparation for the storm that is about to show up?
Have we passed any protection?
At this point, you are skirting a little bit further away from the mountains here, and so you are starting to get into less rocky territory, but this is starting to get into more tundra, frozen wasteland area, so there's really not a whole lot out this way that would protect you or act as a shelter unless you made one of your own.
How much feet of snow?
There's not a whole lot of snow on the ground right now, but the wind is picking up, and you can tell probably going to be a couple inches or a few more, depending on the circumstances of the storm.
I don't think I got shit. So
From what you can tell at this point, I'll say there's probably a good, like, maybe 2-3 inches on the ground right now.
I mean, I don't know if there's much we can do to. I don't have much to prep.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, if we 2 to 3 inches, you said, of
Yep,
snow.
about on the ground currently.
Any trees or foliage? I know I said tundra.
Sparsely, like there's some pine trees still kicking about, but they're kind of far separated from each other.
I do have a weird thing, just as we go.
We do love weird things.
It's a small thing, but maybe it'll help. So I have the walking stick that can turn into a whip, or it has like a whip extension on it.
You can turn it into a whip. You give it a twist and it whoosh.
Cool. I'm just gonna, as we go, either walking stick or a whip mode, drag it behind us to leave an imprint in the snow to make sure we're not getting lost going in circles as much as possible.
All right. I'd like, as you're just kind of proceeding forward through this is right sort of in the morning, 10 o'clock, the storm starts picking up. I'm going to look for Constitution saving throws from everyone.
Natural 20.
Oh, fuck.
Nice.
All right, pass.
I got an 18.
18, pass.
9.
14.
9 and 14 fail. You both take a level of exhaustion as you begin trudging through the snow. It is starting to whip harder and harder. The snow is beginning to build up around your knees at this point. It is starting to become very, very harsh. Even though you guys got your sort of bundled up clothes and stuff from the Fort of Tarian, you're starting to feel the wetness begin to sag into whatever furs you're wearing on you and weigh you down even more. This is a very wet, terrible snow right now. As you proceed further, you begin finding yourself slowly slowing down more and more as the journey goes on. What are you planning on doing?
Do we want to shelter up? I don't know if we'll be productive anyway. Traveling in this.
We could shelter up. Perhaps we could try to fashion some sort of snowshoe.
It's a bad idea. I don't know. Wish we might have on hand to do so, but I don't hate it. I'll dig in my bag and look for stuff to make snowshoes.
What are you looking for?
A tree.
A tree? There's a tree probably a good like 500 feet away from you at this point that you could probably cut down if you wanted to.
We can at least start there.
Okay. As you're trudging over to the tree, can you all make perception checks?
12.
Okay.
21. Boy, oh boy.
Nice.
18.
18.
Oh, I'm at disadvantage.
You are. If you are exhausted, you are at disadvantage.
5.
Mr. Oda.
D&D Beyond is currently down for me, so
Okay.
I need a little help.
All right. I can pull up the stuff. I got it here. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, that's the wrong one. Fuck. All right. It's +4.
14.
14. All right. So, Mr. Auran Knight, or Mrs. at this point, depending on how you want to identify yourself. Off in the distance, as you're trudging through the snow towards this tree, probably Brenin leading the way a little bit, moving his heavy body through there, you notice a faint glow grow and then dim. And then it goes up a little further and then dims.
The glow of what?
It seems to be just it's a little too far away to get an idea of like what source of light it is, but it lights up, goes out, and then lights up and then goes out, and it seems to be just moving along the horizon that you can see right now, even through the snow. Your visibility is kind of hampered from this.
Point it out. It's weird.
I don't know if I've seen anything like that. The vision I'm getting is it's almost like Firefly-like in the way it is like.
Yeah, you can tell that it's moving, and it's glowing up, and then going out, and then glowing up and going out. But it seems to be following a very straight line along the horizon. It doesn't seem to be coming towards you. It's sort of parallel with you.
Patrols of some kinds? Are we getting into the point where we're expected to run into people?
Have we crossed into Gelen?
You're probably, as far as what you would know, you're in that sort of like dead zone or like demilitarized zone where no one really wants to touch for fear of causing more conflict right now. So you're probably a little bit further up into Gelen territory if you thought about it that way. I will say you're about at the point where they have seen some of the bodies moving, but they haven't. That's like maybe another day's journey from where.
So it's ahead of us.
Yeah, it's to the north where you guys were headed. The light, I'll say, is probably about 600 or so feet ahead of you. And you're probably about 250 feet away from the tree.
I would prefer to take the tree. I can at least fashion some firewood and get us warm for a little bit.
I agree.
All right.
Alrighty.
You make it to the tree.
Keeping an eye out on it.
Yeah, make it to the tree easy enough. Who wants to do the cutting? Go ahead and make
You have to ask.
Athletics check for me, but it's at disadvantage, so.
Freak.
Could I assist him with my big orc arms?
You do have orc arms. I'll allow for a straight roll. Fair enough.
Okay. Straight roll. Nat 1.
Oh. Don't even. Yeah, you're feeling like feeling the furs, and like it is just slick and wet and heavy. And like every time you try and swing some sort of axe or sword or whatever, it is not like hitting with enough force to really do anything to this tree. It's kind of glancing off. These are hardy trees. They've been known to survive in the forest or in the tundra for a long time. So it'll take a little bit more than what you got right now. Still off in the distance, the light keeps going.
Perhaps we scout for the Mageocracy?
I'm deathly curious about what that light is.
I prefer we don't get separated out here in the cold.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, it already went so well when you got separated before.
It could have gone way worse.
Exactly. Touch the red button. Do it. You know you want to.
I'm cold and tired.
I'm so cold. I'm shivering.
Can we at least maybe not even cut down the tree, but cut off the branches?
I'd say, I mean, the branches are there. I'd say I'd say someone make a survival check to see if you can kind of like, because I'm guessing your plan is to fashion like a shelter around the tree.
Either a shelter or like anything that can stave
Sure.
off the wind.
Someone make a survival check at how well this tree is gonna work for you. And
Should
how well
not
you can
be
fashion
me.
things.
It should not be me.
Well, two of us are at disadvantage, so
I'll do it.
All right, Auran, go for it.
Okay.
10.
10? You can break off a couple branches here and there. They're kind of starting to get weighed down by snow and stuff, but you're able to snap off probably like, say, 5 or 6 good branches.
Well, everyone gets 1.
Use it to fat back the wind.
Yeah.
You're beginning to really feel the wind push through you guys at this point. As it begins stirring up a flurry, you're starting to notice on the ground where you had previously walked through is beginning to already get covered in snow, and you're making like a little path of footprints, whatever, along, and already probably about 4 or 5 inches has already accumulated off of your journey.
Right when I was starting to think people were missing out on this real estate.
Ugh, it makes sense why people don't come out here.
all right. Can I try to make a fire?
That'll be another survival check if someone would like to try.
Fuck
Who's
it.
people that are exhausted?
The 2 people that are probably good at
the 2
survival.
bulwark members.
Yeah.
Why don't you try? Are you no good at survival?
I have a -1.
Well, I'll go. I have a +2.
Okay. I'll try and help.
I'll say you'll get an assist, so you can roll with advantage because you do have a group of people who are all trying to do it. But
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? All right. I'd say with the branches you have and with, whatever flint and steel you have, whatever fire making device you have on hand, you're able to get a pretty good fire started using the pine needles as like whatever you call it, starter, and get the branches going. You'll probably have a pretty good fire for like maybe 1 or 2 hours right now at this point.
It's something.
Yeah. And we'll say you're able to kind of move the snow around to make a decent enough like wind barrier to keep the fire going for that long at this point. Off in the distance, you still see the light blinking and going across. It's definitely going further to the east at this point.
You're saying, is it doing a path, or is it just...
It's going from west to east and just moving along that line. A lot like what you heard the bodies were doing. They were just going from one place to the other, and then
similar to the big stone robot. That's like perimeter.
Yeah.
At a much larger scale.
Sure.
Yeah. This thing is, from what you've heard, they're going like from one side of the country to the other, essentially. Not necessarily one side of the country to the other, but from the mountains or around there to a whole other area, like 2-3 miles away.
Would the undead be following the light? Is it like a little, what would it be called?
Like a guide? Or me in front of the dog kind of a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
I am.
If that's the case, I still don't trust it. I don't think we're gonna get around it right now.
I just so much want to know what it is.
I'll say with where you guys are at and kind of the direction it's heading, it's probably gotten a little bit closer. It's probably more like 400-ish feet from you guys, where it previously was like 600 as it's kind of going past. It's still not headed towards you, but just based on proximity of where you're at.
I do not want to get lost in the snow, though. That would be bad.
This tree is the only thing we've seen in a couple miles.
Do you want me to go figure out what that thing is? Figure out what that thing is while you 2 rest up?
We should probably move together.
Yeah, moving separately in this blizzard is just asking for trouble.
True, but we might not have a better place to shelter ourselves through the blizzard.
Definitely a moving light, I don't think is providing any better shelter than what we currently have.
I agree.
Sadly.
Well, we can try something at least. I'm going to cast a minor illusion, like, I think the range is 30 feet. 30 feet away from the tree. Just making, like, an animal noise. Like a bear got caught out in the blizzard or something. See if it affects the light's pathing at all.
Just keeps going.
Okay.
Why don't we, since it's closer now, everyone make perception checks again.
6.
Nice.
I am rolling great tonight. 21.
Dang.
5.
Nice. Mr. Oda.
Dirty 20. I rolled 2 16s.
Nice. Oda and Auran, you see a group of bodies that are all shuffling along, following the light. You don't see anyone holding the light. The light is just going along. And I'll say, since you got a 21, Auran, you notice that they seem to be carrying like large blocks of ice. You can't really see much of the features, it's more just figures, but they seem to be carrying like large blocks of ice.
Well, you are right, Brenin. How many figures?
Hard to say at this distance. At your best guess, probably 15.
I have another idea. If we want to mess with these things.
I don't think we want to mess with these things right now. We feel the
Alright.
cold. They don't seem to.
I've got a small thing I think I can try, though, if it comes to it.
Fireball.
Fireball. If
Solves
only.
everything.
I'll just suggest that they stay dead. That'll work.
Always works. The dead always stay dead, right, Auran?
That's right. Meow. That's right.
I guess we just stay here, rest up some. There's no real point in moving forward.
I
No.
suppose.
I think we just have to wait out the storm for now.
Alright.
I will try to use my shield as like a cover, as covering the fire, just to see if I can prolong it a little bit more.
Yeah, you kind of make it last as long as it can.
I'm going to try and grab some more sticks to extend the life.
We'll say over time you're able, if you're like just bunkering down, easy enough to really just take apart this tree as much as you can. Soon, probably after about an hour or two, the light slowly begins to fade off into the distance, with the weather whipping up even harder and the snow really beginning to come down at this point. It's probably about 10 inches or so of snow that begins piling down on you guys. I'll say, if anyone wants to make a final survival check to see how well you can kind of keep yourselves rested and keep a good space.
I will inspire you. You
Get
got
inspired.
this.
I would actually have
Yeah.
a +6 to it, so even with disadvantage, I still think I should try.
Probably.
But I have a D6 now.
Well, I can inspire
Which,
whoever.
that's also true. But
You
I like
can
my
also,
survival is already +6.
You
Whoever
can
wants to roll,
also
do it.
give an extra D4 to that roll for guidance.
Just stack it all up.
Oh yeah.
Odavius,
forgetting
keep us
about
alive.
Okay.
All right, disadvantage, but D6 and D4.
So I had a nat 20 and a 15. +5, +3, so 23.
Dang. Yeah, I'll say you guys are able to not have the problems of not being able to get a restful sleep. You're able to actually like take some of the other branches and stuff and set up sort of like a little mini snow shelter against the wind for you guys to rest up in. And eventually you do all go into a slumber unless someone wants to take watch.
I can't.
I'll take watch.
I can certainly try.
Okay, let's go Auran first and then Primrose. This will
Perception?
leave about 2-hour gap of watch.
Natural one.
Natural one? There's a bunch of fucking snow.
What do
on
I
the
see?
way.
Zach, is there snow?
There's a bunch of snow. You're like, oh look, that's snow. And then there's snow.
I will cast alarm
Alarm. Okay.
in our general vicinity.
Sure. Sounds good.
20 by 20 foot cube.
20-foot cube. Okay. All right. Primrose, go.
It's about to be bad. 12.
12. There's a lot of fucking snow.
Cool.
You look around and they're like, dang, that's snow. I'll
That's
say,
what I thought.
Primrose, you do notice that the light is gone at this point. You cannot see it any more at this distance. So, there is that.
Cool.
Okay. As your last watch ends, and the sort of last few hours of the evening before the sunrise begins, everyone is sleeping at this point, and no one's keeping watch.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I rest at a sacred flame for my long rest for 6 hours.
Oh, okay. All right, so you do sleep just fine. All right, so you're able to keep watch again. Do you want to roll a perception check?
No,
At
let
this
me
point,
roll
the
a 1
blizzard
still.
has ended, and you are all kind of realizing that you have 14 inches of snow or so around
8.
you. 8?
I might as well be asleep.
Yep. I'll say it's not useless, though.
Alarm is
However,
up.
in the very peak of dawn, Auran, you see as the blizzard is decaying, going away, vision begins to clear. Probably about 30 feet in front of you, you see a group of what appear to be zombies slowly walking towards you. They appear to be carrying saws, pickaxes, and hammers.
The peasants are revolting, say to the group.
And they're just slowly walking towards you.
Directly towards us.
Yep.
Do we like shoot away? Because I don't know. So like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing Auran yelled that to wake you guys up.
Shoot awake
The
with a
British are
long
coming.
rest.
With a long rest, yes. You did
Okay.
rest enough.
I'm gonna try my fancy trick. I was gonna try if I got too close. It's not that fancy.
Well-
I'm gonna cast dancing. Oh.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative here.
Ooh.
You're telling me
6.
they mean harm?
They
A
could.
bunch of zombies? No way.
Unbelievable. Unplayable.
Okay. That's,
Literally unplayable. Here we go. Let me pull up that stuff. Boop, boop.
Oh yeah, let's see the new top-down ease. Little
Top-
tokens.
Yeah, they're little tokens.
Okay.
Oh, we don't get tokens. We're still dice.
I figured it would be easier to like differentiate
Yeah, I guess.
y'all because when you get to the mini pictures, it's kind of hard
Yeah,
to
that'd
see
be-
like
That'd be tough.
features. So this is the group of zombies. There's about probably like a horde of them, probably about like 10, 15 of them. You're about 30 feet away, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll say you're kind of gathered up in a camp right here. So, got to get all my shit together here. What did we roll for initiatives? 25 to 20.
23.
Nice.
Light sleeper.
20 to 15.
17.
15.
natural for a 19.
19. All right, so we got Brenin, then That was
Then me at 17.
Oda. You got a 19?
15.
15. Okay, I misheard. My bad. And then Oda. All right, Primrose, what are you doing? They're slowly advancing towards you.
I'm going to do my best impression of that bobbing light they had. I'm going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay.
And get 4 little orbs, and I'll just spread them out, like, directly in front of them. And then I'm going to do my best. I don't know how much control I have over how they look. It says I can change, like, make them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs. So I'll choose the orb.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and mimic as much as possible that, like, pulsating light from yesterday.
Okay.
And then as my bonus action, I can move these up to 60 feet. I'm going to try and move them. Let's go north. And we won't do the full 60. We'll do like a good 30.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Whoop. They all kind of go that way. Go ahead and make a spell casting roll.
Okay.
Using your spell casting modifier to see if you can mimic this.
18.
18? They don't seem to give any notice to your lights at all. They seem to be intently focused. Now that you all are awake, they seem to be just staring directly forward without any regard for what just happened.
Okay. Knowing that, I'm just going to get out of their way. I'm going to move south.
All right.
Pretty much to the edge of the map.
Out there.
Sure.
Okay.
So if they were to keep going straight, they couldn't get a whack in on me.
Gotcha. All right.
Cool.
Brenin, what are you doing?
I will do we have a sense of accurate numbers in this group?
At this point, I'll say there's 15.
15. Okay.
We'll say there's like 8 in this cluster and about 7 in this cluster.
I was really hoping there was 7.5 in both. There's like one half zombie.
There's one dude who's just crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Okay. I will follow Primrose's lead and kind of move south to try to get out of their way. To see if they change direction towards us, and if I will hold my action, and if they start any hostile actions against us, I will throw out my breath weapon.
Okay. Sounds good. Auran, what are you doing?
How do the enemies look when my allies go to the south? Do they seem to kind of like, or 1,000 yards
They
there?
are staring straight ahead. They don't seem to care whatever is in their way.
Tricky.
Yeah. I'll go. I want to go 10 feet to the east of Primrose. So all the way south.
Oh, so like here?
That I should have enough movement to get there. Yeah, right there.
Yep.
And I'll hold Grim Harvest, so like my ranged spell orb attack thing, for if they turn toward us or look aggressive.
All right. Oda, what are you doing?
I am also going to go south.
About there?
And, and I am going to prepare a guiding bolt in case the same as Auran.
Okay.
If they turn towards us or look aggressive.
All right. They just keep moving forward. They don't look towards you. They don't look towards the lights. They keep moving forward.
Were they following a light originally?
From what you could tell
I'll look
last
where they're
evening,
looking.
you look, there's no light there this time.
Not to antagonize them any further, but I'll try something a little bit extra with these lights. I can combine all 4 of them to make a vaguely humanoid form of medium size. So
Okay.
I'll do that and see if it affects how they act.
We'll say you make one kind of right in front of them.
Yeah.
Make another spell check for me.
20.
They still seem to ignore it.
Cool.
Just seem to be focused intently on heading west.
This was a shot. That's my bonus or my action. I could just recast the spell. I'll just chill. See what
Okay.
happens.
Brenin, what are you doing?
If I DM's discretion, if I held my breath weapon, would I lose it for the day?
Nope.
Okay. Then for now we'll be doing the same thing, but not actively trying to be hostile towards them.
Okay. Auran, what are you doing?
I'll go 20 feet to the northeast.
Okay, we'll say like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about there.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll hold my Grim Harvest.
Okay. Oda,
Okay.
what are you doing?
I'm holding serve, still holding the guiding bolt.
Okay.
I feel like they're gonna jump scare and turn around at the last second, like Thriller.
And you watch as they stop. And they all look down and begin to take their implements and begin to dig under the snow. And they're currently just clearing out the snow from an area.
Is that the spot where the fire was?
Or the tree?
Thereabouts, yeah. About where the tree was. They don't seem to be touching the tree. They seem to be digging straight into the ground.
I'm good to just watch this and figure out what they're doing if you guys are.
Yeah. Do we want to stand back some?
All right. We'll drop initiative for now
Yeah.
and say you stand back probably like good 30 feet as you watch them. Boop. And they just dig. And they dig into the dirt. For the better part of 30 minutes to an hour. And you see them just continuing to dig a hole into the ground. Probably about like, we'll say 15 by 15 foot hole that they're starting to dig and go straight down.
I am going to pull out my sending stone and kind of relay all this information that we've made contact and we are currently tracking a group of these undead, confirmed undead, and trying to figure out their reasonings and still tracking and still going to be checking back in later.
The captain gets your message and relays back, all right, just let us know if there's anything. And the undead just dig into the ground. And they're just digging straight down.
Have they dug far enough where their heads are not even?
How long are you willing to wait for them, I guess is the question.
kind of what we're here to do, is investigate this stuff.
I mean, if these guys are supposed to have it's either watch this group or wait and see if we can find another light.
I'd
Alright.
say we have the one in front of us.
Probably after another hour or so, they begin to continue to dig straight down until the point where their heads are gone, but you still see the occasional of dirt popping out and moving.
I will go into phantom form, and I want to fly right over top of the hole, about 15 feet up, and just watch.
Okay, you're watching them dig and just get further into the ground. Probably another hour or so of digging. They've probably dug a good 15 feet to the ground at this point until you hear a sudden clunk of things.
Eureka!
As you hear the clunk, you see them all get on their hands and knees and begin just clawing out dirt and moving things around.
They found something.
And you see them uncovering, and you see this first, a small statue. Looks like probably about this big, probably about a head size. Looks to be some sort of bust of someone. And they all dig it out and pull it up. And one takes it, and then they sort of form like an ant chain where they climb on each other's shoulders to climb themselves out, and they pull themselves out one by one.
Perhaps now would be a good time to intervene, team.
They're climbing out. They're trying to, at least.
Yep, probably at this point, one has just been able to get out. The rest are sort of still in that sort of daisy chain ladder.
Yeah. Let's try and keep them in the hole while we can.
Okay.
Very well.
I will shove the motherfucker back into the hole.
We'll keep the initiative order here.
Ah! Can I go back to my body at least, as I said, like, time to party?
Yes. So, we'll say you're probably 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll say you all made yourselves about 30 feet away here. And we'll say they're still going to be considered a horde or a group of enemies, just for sake of tracking things, but one is beginning to climb out at this point. So we'll start with Primrose. What are you doing?
I really don't have a lot. Does the whip have 10-foot range?
I believe it does. Let me do a quick double check on that.
He does have reach, as long as it's the regular whip.
Okay. And I imagine it doesn't do extra damage, but is it considered magical or more mechanical?
It is considered magical, but it will only do 1d4, and since you are not proficient, you will not gain your strength bonus when you...
Cool, my strength bonus is
Dex
0 anyway.
Your dex bonus on damage, and you will not get proficiency when you attack with it.
I'm trying to learn to master this thing. Screw it, this is as good a time as any. So I'll move up to within 10 feet. I think that takes 20 feet of movement for me.
5, 10, 15, 20, about there.
I'll try and whip that guy and whip him back into the hole.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll and just add your dex.
So no proficiency.
Yep,
but
just straight dex roll.
That is a, where's my dex? 15.
15, that hits. Zombies are not known for being hard to hit.
1d4.
Yep.
2.
2, all right. 2 points of damage. You just kind of, and the zombie kind of takes a second and stumbles back, losing its weight suddenly, and falls back into the ground.
Nice. I'm going to learn to master this thing eventually, and then I'm going to back up 10 feet.
Okay.
Bonus action, I will inspire Auran.
All right, sounds good. Brenin, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to get into view of the most clumped up of them. I'm guessing kind of...
You'll have to be like right up against the edge, because this right here is the edge of the hole that they dug about. This is a terrible marker. Hold on.
I'm going to say, that didn't do anything.
That better? That showing up? Yeah.
Yep.
We'll say this is kind of a general area of the dig.
Yeah, let's do a 30-foot line of fire damage.
All right, so
They need a dex saving throw.
I'd say you'd be able to get both hordes here. I'll do 2 dex saves for the hordes. One horde rolls a 2, the other rolls a 14.
14 saves.
Okay.
Full damage is 8 points of fire damage.
8 points of fire damage to the horde. Okay, perfect. After that,
yeah.
Anything else?
Just staying in front of wherever they're trying to climb up.
All right, Auran, what are you doing?
I'm gonna shoot Grim Harvest at them.
All right. I'll say, since they're kind of covered up, you're gonna have to get pretty darn close to the edge over there.
Ooh. Can I go to the north? Can I go to the side they're not daisy chaining to get out of the hole?
Sure, yeah, about there.
Sure. Nice. Frickin' 24.
24, that'll hit him for sure.
Correct. I haven't even been able to do this in so long. I gotta reread it.
I gotta read again. Fuck.
I gotta read my abilities. I hate it. That's 5 points of necrotic damage, which now realizing that's probably not the best damage to do here, but...
Actually, it still does regular damage.
All right.
Noise.
And then they're gonna have a roll subtracted by 2. One of their rolls. However you want to do that.
By 2. All right. Okay. Oda, what are you doing?
So, is there only one spot for them to climb up at the moment? Like only like one
I
at a
mean,
time?
currently they have like a little like ladder made up of other zombies, but that's slowly getting like blasted away by the various things. Like you guys have killed about 3 zombies at this point of the horde, so those are getting slowly blasted away.
Okay, so nobody is currently able to climb out.
Nope, not at this point.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm just gonna throw a guiding bolt. Why not?
So you have to get about to the edge there to really see in and do that. Toss it.
Well, that is a 23 to hit.
23, that'll hit.
And we're looking at 15 points of damage.
15. Nice. Okay. It is the zombies' turn. The zombies are going to set up a couple different ladders of areas to try and get around. They set a ladder up over here and over here. So part of their action is going to be setting those up, but they have 2 more actions that they can do as a horde of people. And so a couple zombies are going to start making their way up this way and up this way. We'll say they get about there. There's going to be 1 strike against Mr. Auran there. That is a 14.
That'll miss.
That'll miss.
Athena never gets hit.
Fair. All right. And then 1 attack against Brenin over there as well. That is a 19, actually.
That just hits.
Sweet.
I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs as a reaction. So I'm going to make it roll again once it succeeds on an attack roll ability check or saving throw. And it has to use the lower of the roll.
Oop, that's a weird roll. That's a 9 at this point.
Misses.
All right,
And then, which one got guiding bolted? The top one or the bottom one?
We'll say top one over here got
Okay.
bolted.
I'll give myself advantage on my next roll, sure. I'll be selfish.
Okay, sure. Alrighty. After that, they don't have anything else they can do. Primrose, go ahead.
There's not much I can do. Because sleep doesn't work on undead. So, let me read this spell as well. Sure. Why not? I will cast. Nah, I'll move up to within 10 feet again.
Okay.
This ladder that they made, is it like a human body ladder, or is it like an actual
they're
ladder?
essentially like acting like those fire ants that build ladders out of themselves.
And this hole is pretty deep.
15
It's like
feet.
15 feet, so my whip's not going to get there. If I have to get right up on them, that'll be fine. But either to get angle on a shot with my hand crossbow or within reach of the whip, I'd like to try and take out part of the ladder to like ruin its structure somewhat to see if I can get them to fall in again.
I'd say you'd have to use your hand crossbow. You're not proficient enough with the whip to really like grab something and pull it back.
That is fair. All right, I will shoot then at like the head of the bottom person of the ladder to see if I can
Since
get them to
this is going to be a
crumple.
called shot, it's going to be at disadvantage.
Cool, but because of silvery barbs, I have advantage, so straight.
Yeah.
That'll be a 20.
20, that'll hit.
Okay, and this is a D6. And I get my bonus. So that's 8 damage.
8 damage. Math. Fuck. Yep, I got it. Okay. They don't necessarily fall in as you shoot one in the temple, but they do kind of lose their structure a little bit and tumble in, so they don't take any damage from the fall, but they will have to take another action to build themselves back up.
Alrighty. Then bonus action. It's Brenin that's right up on the other horde, right?
This is
Auran.
Brenin,
Auran.
Oda, and Auran.
Auran. Oh, Brenin. Okay, I had Brenin and Auran switched up.
Happens all the time.
Brennan's right next to me. I'll just give him a pat on the back and say, "You got this next one, bud," and then give you an inspiration.
Okay.
Lovely. All right. After that, Brenin, what are you doing?
How big is the horde? Is there a scale or size that it currently is?
It's about this size, which would be considered large or huge.
Would this group be formless?
What are you intending to do? That might help.
I want to throw my net on the group.
Throw your what?
Net. Remember, I got a net to catch Auran before.
You're lucky I didn't rip that net.
Due to the rules of group combat and like horde mechanics, I'd say you'd be able to get one zombie and lasso them and pull them out, but you wouldn't be able to like throw the net over everyone.
Boo.
Sorry.
It's fine. Okay. Then I will just swing at the group in front of me.
Sure. Also, you have to come around to this way since those are the ones that are coming out at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing shoving would kind of be similar to would shoving make them use another action to get back to climb back up if successful?
Their ladder is already gone, so they're already going to have to use an action, so shoving another one in there won't prevent them from making another ladder at this point.
Okay. Then I will strike the ones that are currently up.
Go for it.
Do I have to call the Bardic Inspiration as I roll?
Nope. It happens after you roll.
After you see the roll, but before you know the result.
Okay. That is low, so I will use my Bardic Inspiration. That will be a 13 to hit.
13, that'll hit.
Okay.
These guys are not hard to hit.
Yes. And then I do have Divine Smite at this level, right?
You should. I hope.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. I will pump a Divine Smite into this attack.
All right, and it'll do extra d8, right? Because they're undead.
2d8 plus 1d8 against undead or fiends.
Yep.
Yes.
Sweet.
That is d8. Yes. Okay. 18 points of damage.
18. Nice. Cool. Yeah, these things are getting beat to shit at this point. You've like smited a couple zombies here and there. Auran, what are you doing?
I'm gonna back up 10 feet
North, east, south, or west?
northeast.
Say about there.
Am I gonna get opportunities?
No, you are not.
That's right. They know. They know.
They know not to mess. They know a homie when they see one.
They know who to not mess with. And I'll do Grim Harvest again.
Okay, go for it.
Spell attack.
Is that a spell attack?
It is.
You have advantage because of guiding bolt.
Nice.
Because the next attack on that is with
I'm gonna
advantage.
use my
Good call out.
inspiration.
Nice.
14. Thank you.
14 will hit.
Nice.
Roll that damage, boy.
I'm doing it. Zachary. 5 necrotic damage.
All right. All right. Oda, what are you doing?
-2 to the ordnance roll.
-2. to
I'm gonna guiding bolt them again.
Go for it. I'm guessing this one. The green group over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same ones.
All right.
Sorry, math. 13.
13, that hits.
$14 damage.
All right, nice. It is now the zombies' turns. The zombies stop,
Uh-oh.
and you see them all look up to the sky.
Uh-oh.
And that's their turn. Primrose, what are you doing?
What?
Well, they're all looking up at the sky. I want to look and see. Well, no, I'm going to just look at the sky, see what they're looking at.
It's a cloudy day, just after a storm. Clouds are moving by. Sun's a little bit out, which is kind of nice, but it doesn't really offer a whole lot of warmth right now.
Okay.
Are the zombies casting like divine intervention?
Yes.
No,
They're
they're
actually
like
preparing a sunbeam that's just gonna.
No, they fooled us all. They just looked up and they held their action until we looked up so that they would get advantage on their attack.
I love
They're actually
Okay.
like putting their finger on your chest and looking up, and then they're gonna flick your nose when you look up.
So I had to read through the spell to make sure, but the end of silent image says, if a creature discerns the illusion for what it is, the creature can see through the image, which implies that they can't if they don't know it's an illusion.
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to cast, it's a 15-foot cube, and then all at the bottom of this 15-foot thing, I'm just going to cast a minor illusion of snow on top of the thing to prevent them from being able to see up in case that matters.
Minor illusion covers how much?
Silent image.
Silent image. Okay, sorry. Misheard.
It's a 15-foot cube.
All right, I'll say you cover enough of like this area. here and there
Yeah.
with like cloud, snow cover, something like that, so they can't look up.
Cool.
All right.
That's my action. And silent image is concentration. And then they're at the bottom of the pit.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna back away.
All right, back away. Brenin.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, Brenin, go ahead.
I guess I'll still, if I don't see anything, I'll still swing.
Yep, look up. Nothing.
That's a 9 plus 5, 14.
14, that hits.
And 12 points of damage.
All righty. Sweet. 12 points of damage. Whack. You like knock one down to the ground and it crumples, but all the other ones are just staring up at the sky. Auran, what are you doing?
I don't know, Dad.
Well, you better figure it out, man.
Grim Harvest.
All right, sounds good.
Is that a guiding bolt?
Yep, it was. So you get advantage
Indeed.
on it.
Let's go. Good advantage. 21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Ugh, 3 points of necrotic damage.
3 points.
Minus 4.
Soil dead.
You killed one.
Follow it.
You kill one, and it just drops to the ground. All the others are just looking up at the sky.
Great. I'll move 30 feet away.
Sure. Oda, what are you doing?
Let's see. Yeah. Are they the Green Horde? Are they climbing up currently?
Nope, they stopped what they were doing.
Right. They
and
stopped what
just
they're
staring.
doing.
Yep.
Okay.
We're about to be fucked by an alien spaceship.
Something like that.
Because
I'm
someone
going
before
to-
the session asked for a beholder.
Zach.
Maybe. You guys asked for it.
I'm gonna hold a guiding bolt.
Okay.
Until something attacks or the zombies start to move again.
All right. The zombies stare up at the sky for a little bit longer. And then you notice a black smoke leaving from their eyes and mouth. And float up
Ooh.
towards the sky. And all the zombies just drop. And the black smoke begins slowly moving towards the east.
Well, interesting.
Is
Where's the
that
bus?
Is
Where's
the
bus?
statue still there?
Statue's
Yeah,
still
the
there.
bus-
They dropped it. But we'll say about here is where the smoke is at. Primrose, what are you doing?
Well, let's see how stupid I'm gonna be, huh? I'll be smart.
Can I, with my held action, can I attack that mist because they started to move?
Sure, I'll allow it. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Attack the mist.
Mm-hmm. 13.
13 does not hit. It appears to pass straight through the smoke.
Beck.
And Primrose, you see him cast something and it just through.
Okay. So all I saw, well, I know it's an illusion, so I can see through it, but like, all right. Now I'll try the whole dancing light thing. So my illusion will drop
Okay.
because
Dancing
that
light.
is a concentration. I'll put dancing lights like right to the north of me, like 5 feet to the north of me.
Do you want one big one or 4 little ones?
One big one.
Okay.
As like a figure. And I'll like action summon it in, and then I saw this thing approximately 30 feet, we'll say. So I will move it as a bonus action, like 10 feet to the east, and then as my movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move 30 feet north to get next to, I believe that is Auran.
Yep.
Cool. Just so we don't get separated, and that's my turn.
Okay. Brenin, what are you doing?
Perhaps you could try the fire, Brenin.
Fire? I'm out of fire at the moment.
Our fire should be nearby. Can we like toss a flame stick?
It's pretty burnt out at this point through the evening. You'd have to get it stoked again to get it moving.
Stoke check.
Yeah, something like
I guess at the moment I'll use my action to do Divine Sense. Do I detect undead from the now unmoving bodies? And does the black smoke?
These do not give off any sort of undead energy anymore. The bodies have just dropped. This gives off about 10 presences of undead.
Does this look somewhat similar to something we've seen a friend of ours do?
Nope.
I was gonna ask.
Okay.
There was at least a like shape and figure to what Auran does, even though he does have like, black smoke kind of following him as like a, whatever detail. This is just pure smoke and mist, and it's just floating. It's essentially like a black cloud that's just floating along.
I will drop down and try and grab the bust.
Okay, easy enough. Give me an athletics check to see if you hurt yourself diving into this place.
15.
15? I'd say that's easy enough. You're able to get down and kind of... The zombie that held the grabbed the bus first is still holding onto it, so you kind of have to, like, wrench it out of the hands. You notice that this is a bust of a female form. It is a woman's face. It kind of has, like, Egyptian-esque sort of Nefertiti bust style where it's just like head and a little bit of the chest, and it just comes down to a point. It is extremely old, probably made out of some sort of rock or stone and then left in places. There is I'll say, quick glance at it. It's just head, hair, a little bit of chest, and that's it that you can notice at this point.
Old enough to just be human?
Yeah.
Human instead of like any of the other races that came from the...
Yeah. This is far older than anything recent that you would encounter.
Okay. That's my turn.
Auran, what are you doing?
Go over to the mist and smack it with my short sword.
The mist is about probably 10 feet in the air.
Oh. I have a dart. I'm a dart it.
All right, go for it.
What if the mist has 1 hit point? That is a 14.
14, you throw the dart, it just passes straight through it.
Nice, perfect shot.
All right.
I don't know. I'll move 30 feet, 15 feet to the southeast. That's it.
We'll say you get about there.
That's fine.
All right. Anything else, Auran?
Nope.
All right, Oda, what are you doing?
What you doing?
Mr. Oda.
I don't know. I'm following, I guess.
All right, you're just gonna kind of keep track of it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Smoke appears to just be heading into the east and begins flowing until it is out of sight.
Uh-oh. That's probably not a good thing.
It seemed to move very quickly once it got out, and you can still kind of see the shape of it off in the distance, but it is moving very quickly, and it is heading just straight to the east.
We should maybe tell our friend at home about this, and also be ready.
I will tell him on the way because we're going to track that, right? We're chasing after is the idea.
There's
That's
nothing
the
real-
only lead we have, really.
There's nothing really else we can do.
Agreed. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You begin moving. There we go. And you begin moving at a very slow pace. The snow here has gotten up to the point where you're having to like trek. Even though there's no snow happening this way, I'm going to need, if you're going this direction, first things first, I'm going to need strength checks from everyone to see how well you pass through the snow.
We didn't have enough time to make our snowshoes.
Nope.
We didn't.
Sorry.
Did I get Jack about trades on straight strength checks? On straight ability checks? I don't think I do.
No, it is whatever. I guess, you know what? We'll make this athletics for everyone.
Okay.
Athletics, so you get proficiency. So, Mr. Auran,
And-
what'd you get?
8.
Mr. Brenin.
10.
Mr. Oda.
Nat 1.
Wah,
We're not
wah.
a strong party right now. Primrose.
No, we're not. 5.
Wow. So you guys are technically moving at what is considered half speed right now for this travel, and you are slowly seeing what little remnants of that black cloud begin to disappear onto the horizon. However, you do notice, I'll say, it does not change directions at all. It is not moving or going one way or the other. It is just heading straight east.
Doing the thing in Skyrim where you just like force yourself over the mountain to get
Yeah,
straight to the
exactly.
waypoint.
And then no clip through High Hrothgar.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Oh my god.
So you probably went about half a mile through the snow at this point before you lost sight of the smoke. And we'll say that call back to your superior, the captain, happened then as well, and he just says, "That's fucking weird."
Yep.
And that's about most of what you get from him.
Are we climbing an incline or a decline or just...
This would technically be a decline as you're going closer to the coast of this area.
Can I try to ride on my shield?
Sledding.
Yeah, sure. Let's try it. Didn't realize we were playing Breath of the Wild 2 with Skyrim. Let's do. Gotta think of a.
What's a sledding check?
What's a sledding check? We'll say
In-
this is gonna be acrobatics check to see how well you can stay on your feet while this thing is slip sliding around.
Oh, I'm snowboarding, not sledding.
Essentially, like you're like going on it and holding onto it and trying to like maneuver around shit as you're going.
Okay. 16.
16, you get probably like 200, 300 feet before you realize your shield is kind of shoving snow into your face as you're like kind of going at an angle, and you're just too heavy as you slowly sink into the snow, as it hasn't had a chance to like really form into an ice hard snow over top of it. And you just eventually stop as friction lands you into the ground.
That's farther
Okay.
than I thought it was going to, so I'm good
10
with
out of 10, Brenin.
That works. I have a shield. I
That
want
looks
to
like
try it.
fun.
Acrobatics, go.
I don't have a shield, but I'd like to try it.
That is a 17.
17, same result. About 200, 300 feet down a hill. Shoom, going through.
If they'll let me,
Can
if we're
I
having.
try it again?
One
Get up
roll
out of the
for
snow.
event.
Do
Sorry.
it again.
If they'll let me having a bit of fun, I'll try and take a shield and surf on it, like
Yeah, you can
feet
take
on
my
the
shield.
shield, straight snowboarding down
All
a
right,
hill.
acrobatics.
I would like to go further than Primrose. I would like to
Good
try to,
luck.
All right,
to try to
acrobatics.
beat Primrose.
Acrobatics, roll it.
25.
Oh.
I'm a dancer.
What do you mean 25?
I rolled an 18.
11.
11. All right. Auran, you don't trip and fall in the snow. You only get about 100 feet, though. Like, over. Primrose, you go probably a good 400 feet down this little hill that you got going.
Nice.
And then Primrose.
You're 200 feet ahead of us now.
Yeah, you're about 200 feet ahead.
With your shield.
With your shield, yeah. Primrose, can you roll a dexterity saving throw for me?
Uh-oh.
Did we not see a cliff? Oh shit.
16.
16. I'll say you're quick enough to avoid the edge of what appears to be a sudden drop.
Cool.
As you just whoosh, and quickly stop yourself before you come to the sudden drop. And I'll say you also notice this probably about 2-3 miles off into the distance. There appears to be a group of buildings made out of ice and snow, about 2 or 3 miles, just off the cliffside, down at the bottom, pretty darn close to where the water meets the coastline, or at least what could be a coastline in this more frozen part of the area. About 2 or 3 miles away.
Well, then, if my comrades are coming towards me,
They slowly trudge their way over, yeah.
I will warn them to come slowly. But yeah, I will beckon them and point out the buildings of ice in the distance. It's probably where they went, if I had to guess.
Is it straight east from where we were before?
Pretty darn, yeah.
Do your superiors know of any buildings like this before?
Pretty sure they would have told us if they did.
The general thought that most of you have is that this place is supposed to be empty. Like, no matter where you're from, Gellin or Talstadt, empty area, this little part.
I look down into the chasm. Does it
Sure.
look black, cloudy?
Nope. You're pretty much on like a glacier cliff. If you were skiing or if you were an avid skier, you would know that this is kind of a dangerous spot because you're not quite sure what is the ground and what is like just snow over this cliff. So it is just pretty much straight down. There's a few rocks below, but there's no sign of anyone directly below you.
Last night, you were able to see them, the group of undead, traveling piles of ice. Seems like this is what they're building towards, perhaps?
Maybe they were patrolling, because we're about 600 feet away from camp.
Well, if they were patrolling, they were doing a bad job since they didn't even attack us when they first noticed us.
And no, we're not 600 feet away from camp. We traveled like half a mile before we even attempted
half mile, yeah.
Before we even attempted to snowboard.
Yeah, you're probably about a solid mile away at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mack is frozen.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
It's contemplating really hard.
I know. It's really intense.
Very, very lost in thought at the moment.
Oh, I love this. Should I keep this
He's
in?
mad
or
that
should
I called out his
cut
math.
this out when he's
Keep it
just
in.
staring that intently.
Oh, keep it
Primrose, please, talk to us. Primrose.
Oh, God. So angry.
Died. Yep. Died.
Oh, wait. Yep.
Primrose
There we
died.
go.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
All right,
He's
Primrose
done.
is dead.
Making a new character.
Making a new character, yeah. All right. We'll continue a little bit. Maybe I'll just do like a technical difficulty sign, just pasted over top of his face. I wonder if I can do that. Oh, there it goes. All right. We'll
I
keep
caught
going.
it right before she left. That is forever ingrained.
Nice. I love that. So yeah, about probably maybe 3 miles away is the the village that you see here. You, at this point where you guys are at, you don't see any immediate ways down. It is pretty sheer cliff all for the next couple 100 feet that you see left or right of you.
We need to get over there.
How far is the drop? Can we tell?
At your best guess, probably like 100 feet.
We could try to rope down if we can find a good enough anchor.
Does it look climbable?
If you had a rope, it would make it a lot easier. If you don't have a rope, you're really not sure where any good footing down the cliff would be at this point, just due to the massive amounts of snow that is kind of packed in everywhere.
I don't want to jump on some snow and see what happens.
We have practiced sledding now.
We'll get Mack in a second.
I don't know how much rope we even have as a group.
Oh, we have enough.
I
Do
do
we?
not have any rope.
You have some chains, unless you left those behind.
No, I have.
Hey.
Holy shit! I hate my internet. It's so bad.
I called out your math and then you just glared at us.
Yeah, I know. You were stuck in like a really angry phase.
I saw, and I was like, because I went to go hit unmute, and then I was talking, and it seemed like you guys heard me.
Yeah.
And I think you did, but like the little mute symbol was still in the corner, so
I noticed
that's
that,
why I
and I was
paused.
confused. Oh.
Yeah.
And then
currently-
everything just shut down.
Yeah. We're currently discussing how to get down this cliff face.
Oh, how far is the cliff face down?
About 100 feet.
You want to hold this rope? I think I have like. Do we have like 50 feet of rope from the river crossing? I think.
Yep, you do have that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people have rope across.
I have rope.
I don't
I
believe
don't.
I do.
I don't know if I have rope or not. I'm looking right now.
I'm relatively confident. I think I could climb down.
Oh, yeah, I do have 50 feet of rope.
I have a stupid idea, but
No,
You
we're
know.
not sledding down the cliff.
yeah, it was close to my idea. If I peer over the edge, I imagine, is this like a icy wall? It's cold, but is it like icy?
It is. You're not really able to tell at this point because snow has packed in a lot of what features of the wall you can see.
Well, if we want to test this, I wouldn't be opposed to being the one to try and climb down a rope just to see what's going on with this wall.
Is this going to be like a belay situation where one of us lowers you down?
If you just hold the rope up here, I think I can climb down it. I just need a place to anchor the rope.
We'll tie together mine and Brennan's rope and throw one end down, and he and I'll hold the other.
That's fine, but what happens when you get down to the bottom?
Oh, this is more, I want to see the nature, like how the wall is doing. And then once I get to the bottom, I have a dumb idea of jumping into a big old fluffy pile of snow that I don't think will work, but it could break a fall as we climb.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Auran, can you get down without injuring your body?
My pure form could probably get down there easily, but Athena here probably wouldn't make it.
Damn.
I'm just imagining an orc swan diving off a cliff and just smacking into the ground.
I was just hoping that, if you weren't in the body, it wouldn't be affected.
I don't know. I feel like that far.
You-
The damage
yeah.
would probably go to the body and ruin it.
Yeah, it's far enough that you would probably ruin the body for future purposes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a whole village up ahead of us.
I get my cream of the crop
Oh.
again.
Of,
Yeah.
of potentially only zombies, or decaying bodies, or dark spirits.
I feel like
I
those
mean,
bodies might be occupied.
I mean,
The
is he
undead.
not already
So
in a
disgusting.
decaying dead body?
Not anymore.
Did you see the ones we just fought compared to his body currently?
How dare you, Odavius? Athena is a respectable woman.
I'll say point of order, because I didn't mention this that last time. The bodies that you did see seemed fairly well preserved, given the state of things. It is cold. It is extremely cold up
Sucker.
here, so they didn't really show a whole lot of signs of rot or putridness. But they were still like zombies and missing pieces and parts and stuff.
Well, I mean, we were attacking them with everything we had, so yeah, I could see it.
Alright, well, shall we investigate this wall?
Let's just travel a little bit one way or the other, north or south, I think is the way we can go.
Mhm.
And then see if we can get to an easier edge to potentially climb down.
Which direction you going?
North.
Flip a D2, somebody. Oh,
I was about to say
never mind.
north.
North
Alright.
sounds good.
Go ahead, everyone, make a survival check to really see if you can find a place around this mountain that you could
I
climb,
love this
or
check.
cliff that you could climb down.
Ooh.
Mr. Auran.
15.
Okay. Brenin.
18.
Mr. Oda.
Natural 20.
Fuck yeah. Primrose.
I got a 14, and I'm
Nice.
shocked.
Overall, especially with Oda's help, you're able to find a part of the mountain that's a little bit less sheer drop and a little bit more of a lip that goes and swoops down into it.
So we can sled down it. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying you could, but it is still a pretty steep drop down. So it would be pretty darn difficult for y'all to maintain. It would be a lot more difficult than the sledding that you did earlier.
That's fair.
For someone who's not an acrobat.
Right.
If you guys hold the rope, I'll take the sled and some rope, sled down this hill. That way you have a little belay to walk yourself down with. I don't know.
Well, that still doesn't help that we don't really have anything to anchor to. I would say that, you should be the last one to come down because you probably can get down the easiest
Yeah, probably.
without the help of the rope.
That's fair. I will need a
So-
shield for that, though.
That's fine. You can take mine.
Okay.
Uh,
I can do my best to anchor up top. I'm not the strongest, but it's
Well-
something.
I think we should let Auran go first, as he is the heaviest. So 3 of us will hold the rope up here. Then Brenin, then myself, then you. Heaviest to lightest.
Works for me.
All right. Let's
Trying
do
really
that.
hard to let that pass. Letting that slide.
Really offended. Does this new body make me
We're gonna
look
slide,
fat?
all right.
I'll say athletics checks from everyone but Auran. Auran, we're gonna wait until they roll, and that'll kind of determine the DC for what you're doing. So
Okay.
hold off on that. So everyone
Oh,
else, athletics. Yep,
'cause
since
we're
you're the
rolling
ones
to hold
holding
him.
the rope for
Yeah.
Auran to propel down.
Y'all better be strong.
15.
15.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. Auran, I need you to make either an athletics check or a acrobatics check. Your DC is 16.
Great. $14.
14. You begin to which did you roll? Athletics or acrobatics? That'll help me describe the next things.
Acrobatics.
Okay. You begin to pull, and then your feet slide out from under you as you begin to fall and slide down the entire way, which is probably at this point, about 75 feet. But you are sliding, and you're not just directly falling.
He's still on a rope.
Still on a rope, but falling.
Sliding.
Falling. We're
You
not
take-
flying, we're falling in style.
You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as you down the hill. You're at the bottom now, but you did
Am
take
I?
that damage.
What year is
Owie.
it? Athena hurts. I'll hold on to it.
All right. Who's going next? Or how are you setting this up next?
Odavius, you go next.
Brennan, you're heavier. Go.
That's
You
why
have more stuff.
I need to hold the top.
No. What I'm saying is, you can't get down. I don't think that Prim could hold you if Prim was going to be the last one down. I think between Prim and I, we'll cover it. I can carry y'all when we get to the bottom.
All
Okay.
right.
It's dark down here.
All right.
You are the dark.
I am the darkness.
Oda and Primrose, go ahead and roll athletics check. Brenin, wait until they make their rolls.
18 this time.
Okay.
I got a 5 this time. We're improving.
Okay.
Fuck.
Brenin, you need an athletics check of 18.
Can I do
Sorry.
anything from the bottom to help?
Describe something that you would like to do to help.
Just spot him.
Push in the blow.
What is the ground that I landed on like? Is it snow?
It is
Or like
pretty
stony?
hard ice down here, actually. Not a whole lot of snow cover from what you can see. It's
There
pretty
isn't.
just
Blizzard?
solid ice and rock. There is some
Until
snow.
now. I want to gather all the snow to try to make like a leaf pile out of snow. So for them to kind of cushion the blow if they
I'll
are to
say
fall.
make either a survival check or just a straight intelligence roll.
Rival. 11. No, 11, yes.
All right. I'll say you make enough that it could cushion. We'll say it'll cushion about a d6 of damage, depending on how he falls. All right. Mr. Brennan, DC of 18, athletics check.
Odavius. Hit me.
Wants to be guided.
Take a hint.
Oh, guide.
Boop.
Guide. Bam.
27.
Jesus,
Nice.
Yep. Just easy enough. Chucking down. There's a little bit of like a pull back on those of you up top when you guys are trying to get down, but you're able to maintain his form, and you have a nice little pile of snow to like rest yourself into.
I would like to act dead when Brenin comes down.
Thank God.
Alrighty. Who's going next?
I know you're
Odavius?
sick by now.
I will.
I've been
I
saving
will
my
go
strength
down.
for this moment.
We hope.
I will inspire
we
you
are-
as well.
Oh,
Alright,
thank you.
inspire.
I'll guide myself.
Okay. First, I need a strength check from Primrose.
Hey, 17.
Okay.
Nice.
However, there's still only one success on the help, so the DC
Yeah.
is still 18 at this point. So
Well, I
athletics
have
or
a
acrobatics?
plus d6 and a well.
Well,
Let's
it's a
see.
D4.
Yeah, it's already a 19. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I think I passed. So I don't use my. Well, hold on.
Well,
how
so
does
you
that
can
work
hold
with
on. You can hold on to the inspiration. I already gave you the DC up front. So
And the guidance.
the guidance goes away after a minute, I think.
You
so.
can
Oh, I don't-
concentrate it on for a minute, but you
Yeah.
can basically re-up it whenever you want.
Mm-hmm. So easy enough, Primrose. You actually find yourself like two little like stones to like hold yourself up and lean back a little bit as Odavius just walks down and makes it all the way down with no issue.
All right.
No, Auran, cure wounds.
All right, cure wounds.
My goodness.
I'm going to try and sled in style.
All right, this will be a acrobatics check. Calculating a DC in my head.
I feel like it's going to be a 1 or a 20, and there's
All
no
right,
in between.
Just roll. I got a DC in my head. I won't tell you what it is though.
Auran,
Okay, I
did
wasn't-
you roll for your health,
No, I was.
or do I roll?
You want
that?
me to do it? I usually the healer. rolls it.
I was just say, yeah, okay. It's 12.
Holy, thanks.
Nice.
I rolled a 23 acrobatics.
23? Yeah, just enough. I put the DC at 20 because this thing is fucking tall as shit.
Yeah.
And easy enough. Sledding down. Whose shield did you use?
Brenin.
Mine.
All right. Sledding down. Easy enough. Shredding it. I'll even allow you to go like up on 2 knees or 2 legs and do the surfer vibe thing. That's flavor. And you get down to the bottom, and the shield kind of skids at the bottom and like into the ice that's down here. When you pick it up, Brenin, you notice that your shield has taken quite a bit of damage. The emblem of the bulwark is nowhere near as shiny or clean as it was. It's actually kind of chipped off in a couple places here and there from misuse, we'll say.
Where we currently are, that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
about to say, that's not necessarily a bad thing in
Nope.
this current situation.
Okay. But you are all down at the bottom of the cliff.
Primrose, your talents do precede you. Bravo.
That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm here for. Maybe a little bit more. Appreciate it.
Great. We're 50% of the way there.
Let us
And
continue.
turn around and look up.
Look up. See just cliffside. Nothing. All right. As
How
you
the
begin-
hell are we getting back up?
I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah. I don't got shit.
Well, while
At
we're
least-
here, does anybody recognize this face? I pull out the female bust.
Does I recognize?
Anybody a history
Uh,
buff?
Go ahead, everyone, make a history check. Even you, Brenin, if you'd like.
Okay.
Outside of acrobatics, I've been running like shit today.
17 for old Oda.
Okay.
You going
Brenin
by
and
Oda now?
Primrose?
Oda. I got a 4.
Okay. So Oda was the only one who got above a 10, right? Okay. Oda, you're vaguely familiar, I'll say, with some older parts of the history of Relevant. This thing looks like it probably was used at some point during that history, way, way, way before the apocalypse happened. But as far as telling whether it's like a specific person, you're really not sure. I'll say, as you guys are all kind of looking at it a little bit closer, there do appear to be spots where there were possible like inlaid stones and gems. Like there's spots in like the forehead or like around like the ears that possible gems may have been set, but have long since gone, and those spots are very worn away at this point.
I don't know. It's old. Pre-apocalyptic, but it's old.
Okay.
Brennan, perhaps may I hold on to that?
Sure.
All right. You have
Bust
a
of woman.
yes, a statue bust.
He disappears at some point tonight.
I
Mysteriously.
got what I came for, a stone statue.
Your
I
life's
was looking
work.
for.
Okay,
And
so
you see
do
the
we have-
village ahead of you.
wait. Ahead.
Yes.
Maybe I was misunderstanding. Was this like where we were, chasm, and then the village on the other side up here?
No. So it was Primrose ended here on her sleigh ride. Village is down and over this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a like chasm or a rip in the earth. It is literally just a cliff down, like a glacier side
Oh,
or something
jeez.
like
Okay,
that.
I thought we were
Yeah.
having to like go back up now.
No,
like
no,
100
no,
feet,
no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
like, we're boned, but
Nope. No.
I mean, when we leave here, we are boned because I don't know how the hell we're getting back up that cliff. But
that is true. Onward.
One problem at a time. How are we going about this?
Well, what time is it? Is
Threatened?
it like early afternoonish?
At this point, yeah, probably about like maybe 1 or 2.
Well, we should get as far
well,
as we
it's
can.
a couple miles away yet,
Mhm.
so I'd say we get close, then rest up.
If you
I
trudge
agree.
through this, I'll say you'd probably get there about like mid-evening, about 6 or 7.
It's perfect.
I'd say
I'd say
we
we-
get close, then bed down to recoup before we enter.
Maybe a quarter or half mile outside of it.
All right, you begin to move forward. As you begin moving forward, you begin to notice from the village another group of undead begin approaching from the west, or from the east, moving towards you in your direction.
So they're heading from the village to
From the
us.
village towards you. Yep.
Does this time seem like targeted, locked in on us?
At this distance, you can't tell. You're still a good probably mile or so away.
Let's
Okay.
travel
How
at a
much-
diagonal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much space do we have from the cliff to the coast?
At this point, you're probably about a mile away from the cliff and about a mile and a half away from the village.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
travel diagonally.
Okay. Kind of circumventing around. You move your way around, delaying a little bit. As the sun begins to slowly set, you look back towards the cliff and you see zombies beginning to come from the cliffside and make their little daisy chain on the cliff, stacking themselves down and carrying various ice blocks down.
That's a fuck ton of zombies then.
Looks like almost like a construction crew.
Essentially, yeah.
Did they go down the same slope, or did they just go like
There's
barrel of monkeys?
There's multiple
hooked.
groups that are barrel of monkeying down the cliff sides, slowly, very slowly, but moving down, and some of them are carrying large blocks of ice down the whole way.
So literal hundreds of zombies.
From what you can tell, probably closer to about 50 at this point.
Still a lot of zombies.
And they seem to be heading towards the village as well.
Okay. The group that was coming from the village, did they change their direction?
Nope,
Or
this
they
one
still-
you see is a group of about 15, like you saw before, and they seem to be moving back towards the cliff still.
Okay, so they're not coming towards us.
Nope.
Okay. I'd say we just keep heading towards the village. Keeping an eye on these zombies for any movement towards us, but
Yeah, they haven't showed interest in us yet. After this morning, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but...
Okay.
Let's keep going as is.
Moving further and further forward, you get probably... How far away do you want to get from the village? Before you, stop?
half a mile.
Half a mile?
Half mile south.
Half mile south, so you want the village...
We're on the north side of the village.
About...
No,
yeah.
we're directly west,
You're...
right?
I mean, depending on which diagonal you wanted to go, you can go either
Well,
direction.
we
went
went
north, okay.
north.
So we can go
went north for the cliff.
Mhm.
So
half mile north. If
Half
they
mile
just
north?
keep going directly back and forth west to east, then I don't want to be in that
Okay.
in that line.
You kind of travel far enough to the point where you're directly north of the village, about a half mile away. You've been slowly watching these zombies as they scale down the cliffside and move. At this point, you see the other group of 15 waits for one of the daisy chains to be almost finished. They climb up it and then go above the cliff. About this time, it's probably 6 o'clock or so. And you begin to notice as the other zombies are filing in towards the village that they are simply going in and disappearing into the village, going into these various huts and things. Some of them are taking blocks and they're just stacking the blocks of ice on top of just various piles. And you notice now that you're closer that they just have piles upon piles of ice, as well as these larger igloo type structures scattered throughout this little village area.
interesting. I'd say we bed down then for the evening, get a good rest and recuperate all of our abilities and stuff.
Sounds good.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'll cast alarm around us again.
Okay, about 20 feet.
I'll take first watch.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
there's
wanted
a
a
problem.
campfire talk before going to bed.
Campfire talk.
I wanted to go up to Primrose.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I noticed when we were in Philstat, is that the capital building? The capital city we were in?
Fairlick Height.
Verlikite. When you were performing, you seemed to be a different version of yourself.
I feel like that's common of most performers, but most people don't notice it, so
Is it
Appreciate
simply
it.
an act or a you enter a peaceful state, I wonder?
if anything, everything but the performance is an act. It's more closer to the truth. It's when I'm most myself on stage.
Why is that? Do you not feel you can be yourself around others?
Uh, it's complicated, but if I had to distill it down somewhat, performing is in its nature very self-indulgent in a way, making yourself the center of attention, having people oogle at you and pay you money just to look at what you do. And that level of self-indulgence isn't really acceptable in day-to-day life. And while I wouldn't call myself a selfish person necessarily, there is a level of there's a level of allowing myself to pretend my true self is an act, if you will, as well. And showing the world who I truly am in a very self-indulgent way. Whereas in the day-to-day, I feel like drawing any attention to myself feels selfish.
I understand. That makes sense. You were quite talented watching you up there. And
I appreciate it.
feel free to be yourself more often. It suits you. And I'll hand over and wind up the clockwork butterfly and have it just kind of float around.
I'll let it land on my finger. I appreciate it. It's complicated, but we'll work it out.
Well, you're among friends, right?
Brenin, or Auran, I did have a question for you as well.
Hmm?
How often do you jump from host to host, as it were?
Well, I haven't really had the need up until recently. I liked my other body. It kind of gave me a kind of stares off a link to the past, so to say. So it was hard to see it go, but at least I went out on my own terms.
Next question seems redundant then, but I imagine some bodies feel better than others, more right. Fits more like a glove, I imagine.
I don't know. Kind of looks at orc arms. I don't know if I'll ever feel myself again. Or perhaps this is the new me, and I'll kind of come out into phantom form and ghost form. This doesn't get a lot of positive reactions, though.
Well, it's a nice you. It is the you, I'd say. I don't know. I think ever since the apocalypse happened, a lot of us have been struggling with being ourselves, or at least identifying what our new selves are.
Yes. I'll look over to Brenin at this point. Brenin, it seems the magical event affected you as well. That photo was not with the Dragonborn. Oh, you might be muted.
Right. As you know, there weren't Dragonborns pre-Cataclysm. There weren't elves. There weren't phantoms. There weren't tieflings. They were just humans. So yeah, the Cataclysm changed me into this Dragonborn, is what we call it now. Brass variety.
Funny, given that you weren't technically born of a dragon.
Yeah, I don't know who named them that. That's kind of stupid.
Some moron.
idiot.
Probably his
Brenin.
name is Mike or something like that.
Yeah.
If I may ask, the ones in the photo, what happened to them?
They've passed. They didn't
From the
make it.
explosion?
They didn't make it.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all right. I've had time to grieve.
Brennan, if this is too intrusive, feel free to ignore it, but is there any part of this new you find more appealing than our previous lives?
No. If anything, it makes me more of a target. Makes me stand out.
Not if everyone is different.
Even in this setting, although I can now say that I'm not the rarest of species. Looking over at Auran, Dragonborn. I've only known of one other Dragonborn besides me, and that's our captain.
It makes me feel even weirder. In some, I think in a lot of ways, and I'll look down at my tiefling body, I feel more myself in this body than I did in my old one. But I don't know why. It's weird though. There's always layers to it. First it was hiding myself as a child because I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And now it's hiding layers of myself for I don't fully know why. But it never seemingly just one thing. I don't know if this helps you at all, Brennan. I'm just rambling at this point, but yeah.
For some people, it might have helped. For a lot of people, it might have helped. For a lot of people, it might have helped for the wrong reason. And for many others, they lost a lot during that explosion.
Out of game. Oda, are you human?
What is
I didn't think
Tiefling.
so. Tiefling as well? I didn't think so. I don't think you're. I mean, just based on statistics of 4 people, none of us here stayed the same. So maybe maybe the ones who stayed the same feel the exact same way, outsiders in their own world that they had to see change around them.
If anything, our world is more divided than it ever was before.
whole magic stuff really complicated things, huh?
Fuck magic.
Why did you both join the Bulwark?
To keep magic in control.
You felt out of control from the explosion? Wanted more?
No. Muggers, thieves, killers. They all gain these new abilities, new ways to hone their craft, just, and just made life worse for a lot of people who stay the same, didn't get abilities. Magic has it's caused an imbalance among our humankind, I guess you can say. It and someone has to keep that in check. We have to figure out rules and regulations for use of magic and make sure the right people are using it, not for the wrong reasons.
I would argue that, well, I don't fully agree with their ways. Aren't the bulwarks the balance? Magic, I would say, didn't necessarily cause an imbalance, just maybe added volatility to the world. It's just another tool, like a sword or a bow, for those who get their hands on to use for their own intentions. It's a very, very powerful tool. But
Before the cataclysm, I remember a time of when it was just bows, arrows, and swords. And then, wasn't it even before the cataclysm that we had clockwork?
Yes.
Then clockwork items came about, and it took many, many years for the rules and to figure out how they could use it correctly. It takes time, I understand, but I am trying to be on the right side of it to make that go faster.
And you, Odavius?
While you guys have been talking with Brenin, I've been silently crying. You look over and there's tears that have streaked down Odavius's face. The magical explosions threw me into a coma while my body changed into this. And the bulwark found me and took care of me, nursed me back to health. And when I came to, I just was indebted to them for one, but they quickly became family. My family lived through the apocalypse. However, none of them were affected. And after a shaky breath and a moment, my parents sort of didn't accept me back in my new form. They were stuck on the original view of their son. My sister, thankfully, sees me for me, and I don't visit as often as I should because of the differences with my parents. But what's that?
You keep going.
I owe my sister a lot. She gave me my shield, and I'll show the drawings that she made on it of us when we were younger. she's accepted me the way that I am, and you know, if it wasn't for her, I'd have no ties to my old life. But the bulwark quickly became, more family than my parents did after the explosion. And then a lot of the same reasons Brenin does it today, just trying to prevent magic from being used to attempt to, not used inappropriately, but used to advance or how do I want to say this? Improperly using it to help yourself or unnaturally extend one's life or stuff like that. So
Should be turned away from those that you should have been able to trust most. It's quite difficult to get through, and I admire your bravery for sticking out through the difficult times and finding a new door once that one closed.
During all this, you notice Primrose start silently crying a little bit too. Odavius, I think we share more than the type of I don't want to say creature, type of being we turned into. Parallel stories in reverse, I guess. I wouldn't call them family after having experienced what a real family was, but one night, my brother and parents all went to bed human, and the next morning, all but my brother woke up a tiefling. Or, you should have heard my mother calling us disgusting abominations of nature. That was a fun morning. And their little children weren't quite what they remembered. They didn't love me because of what I became. They despised my brother because they had what they wanted. And so, as soon as we could, we ran off on our own. Earlier, I think, Auran, I told you that we were helping your friend at one night, and that I wasn't successful before in accomplishing a goal like that. Well,
at this point, Odavius was like what? What do you mean?
What night?
don't.
Old friend had an emotional breakup with his girlfriend. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Lotus.
inside check. I'm kidding.
My brother Lotus was the one. He took the hit, as it were, for some needed shit that we got ourselves into. And you have to survive the streets somehow. And since then, I don't know where he is.
Like we're all alone out here, huh? Well, not anymore.
As you're talking and as you say this, I'd love for everyone to make a perception check, actually.
Mother trucker dude.
As a beholder.
4.
4.
All right.
5.
18.
Let it be known, I gave myself disadvantage and I still rolled a 14.
Okay. Oda, as Auran says, I guess we're alone out here. You look towards the village, and you see a few zombies, probably about 4, standing and staring out towards the darkness in your direction.
I think we're being watched.
Yeah, that's just rude now, isn't it?
Well, we haven't bedded down yet. We could move farther back.
I mean,
How
we're
far
still
away are
half a
they?
mile from them.
Yep, you're half a mile, so you can see their figures, but you can definitely tell there's about 4 zombies that are just standing and looking out towards your direction.
I mean, we literally attacked zombies earlier today, so I'm sure they're watching us. But
Makes
we
sense.
are not. We are not stealthy, as it were. They know
Perhaps
of
we
our
should just
presence.
keep an eye on them and try to rest.
Yes.
At least we know where they are.
I'll take last watch.
All right, who's taking first watch? Oda.
Yep.
Roll a perception check.
Not 20.
Oh fuck!
Pricker surprises.
You see the zombies watching you, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but you also notice that zombies are continuously moving, even under cover of night, in and out of the village across that east and west line. And you notice now that there's an orb that leads them through the night that just blinks on and off. It's just some sort of orb of light that just that leads them up. And you see it actually just float up to the very top of the cliff. And when it reaches the top of the cliff, it shines a very bright light down as the zombies begin making their way up and over. And then once they finish, it just keeps moving.
Interesting.
Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Brenin, roll perception.
6.
Not a whole lot. You're seeing the same kind of patrols and the lights. Those are pretty immediately obvious. But beyond that, pretty quiet overall. Like, you don't see any movement in the village. You don't see anything else happening beyond those zombies moving out and then eventually coming back in. Who's next?
Does there need to be one more watch between Brenin and then Auran getting a full night's sleep?
Yes. Because it's 2 hours each.
Let's take it. 8.
8. Not a whole lot. Seeing the same things.
Cool.
Auran.
10.
10. Auran, you pick up on a very, very, very slight rumble from the ground. And it happens just for like 5 minutes. And it's very light. And then it stops.
Okay.
And then after your watch, you all awake. Those 4 zombies that are sitting there watching you are still staring and watching out towards your direction.
They haven't even flinched. Dedication.
You actually see like a little bit of snow and ice has built up on them and kind of frozen on their chins and things.
I feel like we're not arriving unannounced.
I really don't want to become one of them.
Agreed. At this point, I don't know how much good any subterfuge or stealth will do us.
Yes, perhaps we should just approach.
They haven't shown us any hostility so far. I feel like this could be the wildest stab in the dark. I feel like this might be a entertaining third party trying to influence both sides at the same time. I don't know why else. It could also just be hubris. I don't know why else you'd make a castle of ice with zombies working 24/7.
It's definitely not a castle. It's a couple igloos.
A fortress of ice.
Not even.
Or
it's like a few igloos. Like
a
that's
civilization.
A conglomerate of ice.
Conglomerate of ice.
How do we know how far we are from the Magocracy that we were sort of traveling towards? Is it still quite a few days away?
Let me
I
look at my
think
map.
the map got slightly adjusted.
The map got a little adjusted, but not by too much. Even
I'll
though
say because
the place is like white, it's still under control of Gelen. That's the wrong map. No, that was there. We go.
At least the capital of Galen is much farther
Yeah.
west.
So, from the capital of Gelen, just on your general knowledge, is probably a good like 2 months away from this area, maybe even a little bit more. The territory of Gelen stretches pretty close to where you're at this point.
right.
And there are patrols that run along this sort of part of the frozen fields. But as far as like main civilization part of it, probably 2 months journey.
In the journals that we collected, quote unquote, it was all about like teleportation, right? It was just
Yep.
studying advanced teleportation. Cool.
All right,
All right,
let's
let's
go
go.
knocking.
All right. Heading down, walking. Do you do anything to hide yourselves, or are you just walking straight towards the zombies?
Walking, I'm making sure that I'm not looking like I'm hostile at all.
At this point, I think just approaching is our best option.
Okay. You make your way to the very edge of the village where the zombies are just sitting there, and you see as you get closer, they all sort of like turn their heads and watch you approach. And they're just standing there watching.
Can you take us to someone we can communicate with?
You see one of them just turn around and begin walking.
Let's
Hello?
go.
Okay.
Great.
I'll do
Well-
a general divine smite as we enter.
Divine Smite.
Oh, sorry, divine smite. Just a tiny divine smite.
Just a little
A little
one.
bit.
Beep. How far does that go?
Just 60 feet.
"60 feet below you, you get what could possibly be over 100 bodies of undead below you at 60 feet.
Yeah. There are a lot more undead underneath us currently.
The one zombie begins to walk towards one of the igloos, one of the larger ones of this place. And there's a little, like, tarp hung in front of it that carries an emblem on it, and I'd like everyone to make a history check.
Finally. Natural 20.
Nice.
15.
19.
And
10. I'm going to say with a natural 20 is probably what you almost needed to figure this one out. And it's a very appropriate person. The emblem in front of you holds a red wolf with 2 handprints on either side of it. Primrose, since you deal with song and traveling troops and sharing stories through those methods, you're very familiar with a tale of the Glanfar clan. And this is a clan that predates most any history of recent times. It's before like the clockwork, it's before anything. And it was when humans were first kind of getting into civilization, and there were various tribes of human tribes all around the area. And this tribe was so warlike and so feral and so not evil, but commandeering, that they almost conquered everything and put it under their banner. And they were only stopped until humans and all those tribes came together and fought as a single force towards this one tribe and pushed them so far north that legend says and songs say that they all froze to death in this northern part. And that was the first sort of real defining moment of, hey, we're a big civilization. You know, before Gelen and Tolstadt split, this was like the first big civilization before everything else happened.
I think I know who our undead companions may be, as weird as that may sound. And I will relay to them the information I know.
Clan.
The zombie makes no attempt to pull the tarp away and just walks into it and just over top and disappears beyond the tarp. And as you enter, you see a body that is sitting on a throne that is not made out of solid ice. There is a chair there, but it is covered in a dense shield layer, whatever you want to say, of ice. And there is a body sitting on top of it, leaning back, hands on the armrest, and staring forward.
This is a dead body, basically.
It would appear to be dead, if not for the blue glow that is emanating from its eyes.
Did I...
different from all of the other zombies that you've seen. All the other ones have just normal, dead, glassed eyes. This one is the only one with glowing. So, as you approach this figure, it has not moved, just cold blue eyes staring out.
Do I recall the name of like a leader of this group?
It was a nat 20.
It was a nat 20.
Well, it was an old clan, so it must have had a lot of leaders at one point.
Yeah. This is Thorb, or it's not, you don't know if it's Thorbin, but Thorbin is a name that talks about in the songs that you've heard.
I'll go. Is that you, Thorbin?
You old pals.
Heard many a tall tale of this group. At least what I presume to be this group.
Thou speakest my father's name.
Son of Thorbin. What is your name?
There are more pressing matters at hand than a name.
What may those matters be?
4 wanderers in my territory.
Your territory? How far does your territory stretch?
For now, this frozen tundra.
And how long have you been cultivating this territory?
Until rudely interrupted.
Did you start about 20 years ago, mayhaps?
What purpose are you here for? The way he speaks is like almost broken English. like you're understanding part of the words and phrases he's using, but it's a very, very old dialect. So it never quite translates perfectly.
I will step forward. We only seek information as to what is going on in this area. We have allies who have witnessed movement of your workers or folk that are moving in this area, and they were concerned, but they don't know what anything is. So we were trying to find answers.
Does thou come from the eastern clans or the western?
So
You
they
would be
probably
from the
died
east,
and
The
then
Eastern.
technically.
risen. So they don't like know anything that's happened. They've probably been dead for like a long time.
So I don't know if it got picked up, but I asked you how long have they been doing it? Have they been doing it for presumably 20 years?
He ignored your question.
I figured.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was technical difficulties or not,
Mhm.
but
We're Eastern, I believe.
Auran seemed like he wanted to lie there a little bit.
No, I wanted to consult our historian. What faction would be allied with the Glanfar?
Quick little aside.
I feel like no allies,
No.
Oh, never mind.
no
then.
faction.
No.
Yeah.
From what you've heard in songs, it's pretty like everyone against them.
A couple from the east and a couple of wanderers, if you will.
I am Bear Grim, and I have been asleep for a long time.
These are your people?
They were now lifeless shells.
If
You
we
seem
may
to
ask.
not be.
Oh.
Sorry, Brenin.
Go ahead.
I said you seem to not be a lifeless shell.
Indeed. Do you have answers for my condition?
What is your condition?
Just stares forward. His mouth has been moving this whole time, and he's been like actively talking to you, but he has not moved from the chair.
Does he look like a zombie?
Mhm.
Or like he's been decaying?
He looks like he is at least very well preserved for a zombie. But the main difference between him and the other ones, besides his like normal wear, is his glowing blue eyes.
Interesting.
We don't have answers to your condition now, but if you are willing to tell us more, we can travel back and talk with people of more knowledge.
Why should I let you leave? Those who carry war and violence upon my people.
Are they really your people if they're just shells, as you just said?
My people, they remain until they are buried into the ground and walk no longer.
We were
think of
unsure of their motives, and we apologize for any transgressions that we have previously committed. And now that we know who you are and maybe not quite know exactly what you're doing, we don't have any immediate tendencies to bring more destruction upon your people. We just want to know what it is that you are doing. Like, why did you need that statue that they were digging up?
We are finding relics of home buried beneath the earth.
Are these just to remember then? Or
Do
There's-
you wish to sleep?
I wish to understand.
We do not understand the ways that you control your clan. Can you see through them? Can you hear through them?
They work under orders of mine.
We can provide eyes, ears, a mouth to help uncover the truth. We're not sure how long you've been awake, but or how long ago it was since your clan, Primrose. How long ago was the clan up and running?
You have no idea how long ago it was. Just one of those things that's like way back in history. You never had like a encyclopedic knowledge of it. You just heard the songs.
I imagine this is almost like not quite the same, but like Epic of Gilgamesh, where it's like this is the first story we really know of
Yes.
civilization.
Pretty darn close.
Cool. I have his name written down and I already forgot it.
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grin.
Bear Grimm.
Bear Grimm, not Grin. Bear Grimm, you wish to understand. What do you wish after understanding?
I wish to know what we are doing here awake and why we have been brought back. I chose to die, and so did many others.
It's an honor to die as you choose.
Not
I imagine
chosen.
to die as a warrior.
It was not as a warrior.
Ah, I remember. This is me out of character remembering how the story went.
I
What
chose
happened
to
to you?
die an assassin of my father.
Who?
we don't have any immediate answers as to why. But I believe, be more than willing to search for answers if you have any idea of where to look. But like I said, we didn't know who you were or where you were or that you were even here. And so we were just figuring out why your brethren were moving as they were under your command. I assume you have no ill will toward anybody, being you allowed us to come in here.
If I may
Go for it.
rewind a bit, because it's hard to insert this in places because it's very temporal. But when I said like you chose to die how you wished. He said, not how I wished. As a warrior, not as a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably about like 6 seconds. After all that, I would like to cast Gift of Gab.
As you begin the process of casting the spell, there is a very sharp breath of air that hits your body, and you are counterspelled.
You can do this again.
Just waste his level 3 spell slots. It's fine.
Let's not
Um,
anger.
So when he said die by assassin, what was insinuated there? That
He
betrayed.
did not.
assassinated.
He did not die by an assassin. He died as an assassin.
Killing his daddy.
Of his
Mhm.
father.
Tried.
Yes.
As far as we know, he tried. We don't know if he fully succeeded at this point.
Right.
Why did you try to eliminate your father?
His actions led to the ruin of our clan.
Your clan, from what we heard, used to run most of the continent in the days of old.
Our clan ruled with an iron fist.
But then you headed north.
We were forced north by the united clans beneath us.
Do you know where your father is now?
Cast to the winds and burned as ashes.
Did you all freeze when you were pushed north? What happened?
We chose to die as murderers and abandon our fates to the frozen north.
They
You-
dispersed and died.
The general sense you get is that they just kind of gave up and said, we got fucked up. Our leader is a fucking dickhead. We're just going to choose to die because there's nothing else worth living for.
It was suicide, killing each
Yeah.
other.
More suicide of self-chosen.
So their biggest wish was to die, and now they can't.
Are you unable to die again? Are you immortal?
He looks. First time you see his head move, and you see his body just crunch some ice off of his head as he looks down. We have attempted so several times, and you see there's a dagger in his chest. There's a few arrows on his shoulder. We have acted to keep mercy.
You say we, but I thought your comrades were just shells.
Or spirits. We saw the dark aura come out of the undead bodies before. Do your people still, or was that a part of you?
It matters not how they operate.
They are. Okay.
We wish to keep a peaceful existence while we draw this breath of unlife.
While he's speaking, I'm going to look over towards Auran and try and gesture the statue that we found.
I'm going to gesture back that I don't want to give it to him.
the clans, as a member of the clan of the East, we can talk with our leaders, and as long as you have no ill will towards our clan of the
There
East,
is no talking to your leaders. We wish to remain a secret, hidden away, until we are gone from this coil.
Okay.
Can I?
You're not a secret anymore because of the movements. They know of the movements of your clan folk. And so that part's not a secret. You are still a secret, but your movements are not. And so if you wish to stay a secret, you might want to consider not reaching out as far, if possible.
or potentially going farther north. If you want to remain isolated, I don't think we'll stop you.
Mm-mm.
Can I make like a general insight check? Because I feel like these guys' statements are contradicting themselves. Of like, he was threatening violence upon us. Of like, why should I let you leave? But he's talking about how he just wants to keep the peace until they pass peacefully.
Make an insight check.
I feel like things don't add up. For me, that's pretty good. 17.
You get the sense that even though he wants to live peacefully, he is currently debating within himself whether it is good for him to kill all of you so that his village, his whatever, stays hidden. Because
Okay.
he's currently thinking, if you go back and tell your leaders, people are going to try and destroy us.
Mm-hmm.
Is going farther north a possibility?
Make an insight check, Brenin.
Is an 18.
There is a very slight glance downward that he makes towards the ground. We have built ourselves up a place to live in hiding. We only need more materials.
Material? What more material do you need to live peacefully?
You see his
in
hand
secret?
crunch out of the ice as he points up to the ice structure over top of him, to the igloo.
If you wish to keep secret, why continue to build outward?
We do not build outwards.
Is there another glance downward?
Not at this statement.
Okay.
But you did feel 60 feet below there were undead presences earlier.
Do you feel as though your parties of your comrades that you're sending out need to continue to go farther out? Or can their movements be constricted so as not to raise alarm to other civilizations?
We were brought out here, as my compatriot said, because movement was noticed. So we just want, if you wish to be in secret and for nobody to bother you, it is best if the movement is more northern.
We have not gone close enough to the stone towers for them to see us.
The what?
Is that the towers that they... Frick, I'm forgetting the name. That
Tarian?
It's Tarian, yes.
That's the assumption you can make.
We can see a long way. And as surprising as this might be, it's been many hundred, if not 1,000 years since your clan roamed. 20 years ago, there was a sudden explosion. With this explosion came magic and other elemental powers and things we don't understand. I'm sure with all of our appearances, we are of creatures you've probably never seen before, maybe even dreamt of. We can assume that this explosion could be a part of the reason for you currently living. Just providing a little bit more knowledge, hopefully a little bit more understanding.
Then it is as they said.
Who?
We have a seer who tells time and space have been moved. If your purpose are to investigate what we have been doing, then your purpose is fulfilled, and you have found nothing but roaming creatures.
I believe I'm one of a select few who even remember your story, at least in the detail that I do. Your legend remains, but you are not near the top of any suspicions, if that makes you feel more comfort.
Our clan carries a poisoned name, and we wish to remain dead.
I believe we can continue that wish.
We will
With,
build out our halls below the surface, creating our own crypts where we may sleep eternally.
Insight check.
Go ahead, make
Does he want to sleep internally, or does he have ulterior motives?
Go for it.
9.
It is not a... I'll say this. He's telling the truth, as far as you can tell. But there is like a slight hint of curiosity at you saying that they've been gone for 1,000 years and they're just now waking up. It seems like that hasn't quite fully processed yet.
I feel like out of game somewhat that they may not have an ulterior motive, but someone has an ulterior motive for them.
Seer sus.
Mm-hmm. I do believe that our quest has been fulfilled, and unless my compatriots have anything else, I believe we are willing and able to just leave you in peace and go on our own merry way.
Would you undertake an oath and bind you to it?
I've already taken one oath, and as long as you give your oath to me that you do not have ill will of the people south of here, and as long as they don't harbor any ill will towards you, that each side will remain silent from each other.
You see him reach down and, like, crack a part of the ice from his chair and take a dagger and just carve a rune into it and blows into it, and it just glows light blue and then fades back down.
One sec, as I need to double check my oaths of a watcher and make sure that this doesn't go against any of my tenants.
And he tosses it to you, whether it scatters on the floor or someone catches it.
Catch it.
Okay.
What will
there
this
is
do?
a rune carved in there. What did you say, Auran?
What will this do?
It is my mark as a chieftain that you will not hear from us, nor will we take up arms against you, as long as your side of the bargain is held.
And what would our side be?
What do you offer me in show of oath?
Complete and utter secrecy.
No trace. And I'll pull out the bust woman. No trace of your existence. Hand it to him.
Leave your mark upon it.
I've never been asked for my mark before, and I'll I'll carve a symbol of a ghost in it.
Okay, you kind of do a quick, like...
And I'm talking like ruffles, circle, like line.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not a shopping list. I'm a ghost. Drawing.
The zombie from before comes up and holds out their hands, and then walks and brings it over.
There's a slight hesitation from Auran as he hands over the bust.
I promise you'll get to steal something soon, Auran.
This is like Sundrop all over again.
Oh God.
Did they need something from all of it? Did he need something from all of us, or was
Nope,
that
he
good enough?
seems to accept whatever. This seems to be like a very old tradition of some sort that you're picking up, where they need a physical thing to mark the promise.
Like the axe in Skyrim.
Right.
It's like the mark of the sign of peace.
Very much so.
Okay. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your oath. Thank you for, I wouldn't say forgiving us, but allowing us to come into your home and converse as we have.
May we stay at peace, and you eventually find your eternal rest.
One last question, Bear Grimm.
Two, but go ahead.
If we were to find an answer to your problem, a way to bring you that eternal peace, would you want us to bring that to you?
There's a very pregnant pause as he has to think about the idea of dying all over again. If you find it, bring it to us.
Options are always nice. Even if you don't take them. And just give like a little bow.
Last question then. Can you get us back up the cliff?
We'll use your zombie chain.
Give the gap. Nah.
You may go peacefully with the next outrunners.
Thank you.
Bye.
And you see him
Bye-bye.
rest back, and then the ice freezes back over top of him as he sits back down and sits back into the chair.
Whoa. All right, boys. Let's go climb some zombies.
All right.
All
I
right.
say it a little too loud as we walk out of the igloo.
Blue
Hell yeah,
Eyes
brother!
just-
Let's climb some zombies. High
Yeah,
five.
he's gonna hear us.
As you exit, you see that a group of zombies, probably of about 20 or so, is moving along. I'll say make a perception check as you're seeing them come out.
Eight.
That's
20.
fitting.
22, I believe.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, yes, 22.
0.
Nice.
Wow.
With the
That's
22,
great.
you notice that the zombies are specifically coming out of one of the igloos. And just a quick glance as they're all covered with tarps in front of the doors. But one passes by in the tarp and you see a very basic form of an elevator that is bringing groups of zombies up and then bringing it back down.
Interesting.
So they have their hands on clockwork.
I do not.
It is not clockwork.
And,
It is
and
quite.
you don't see it.
It is
I don't-
quite- yeah. I'll say for the purposes of explaining for Oda's sake, it is quite literally just
I'll
a
say
zombie
I don't explain this to them.
getting a wheel and a rope and just letting it down and then pulling it back up.
Cool.
That's it.
I'm compartmentalizing this information.
Okay. All right. Eventually, you make your way up, climbing up the daisy chain and going up pretty easily. You're about 8 days away from Tarian, though. And
Do you
with-
want to send a message saying that we found nothing but just mindless groups of zombies and no origin, no ill will, nothing? Or do we
No
even want to say
threats.
zombies? Just say creatures, just mindless creatures that are not a threat to us.
I feel like
at
we've
all?
already told them about the group of zombies part.
I'm gonna hand
Yeah.
over the sending stone over to Auran.
I'm not allowed to say anything as I hold up the. I'm carrying the rune, so.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna base off our information, and he said he just said creatures, mindless creatures.
Is this thing on?
Who is this?
Well, it's Auran or Athena. Your pick.
What happened to Brenin?
Brennan's fine. He's right over there. Hey, Brennan.
It's
He's
fine. You can talk with her.
Like a Toy Story when he's like buzzes his arm. And he's like, "Hi everyone, I'm Brennan."
What is your status? Have
We,
you found sources of anything?
We attempted to trace down the origin of these zombie-like creatures and have been unsuccessful. We are still on the case. Just wanted to check in.
Make a deception check.
How are things at home?
I
How
will
are the kids?
inspire you.
Died.
Thank you.
Yay!
Oh. I'm gonna use
You
the
get a D6 and a D4.
Yep.
Mhm.
We love lying.
27.
Shit.
Nice.
I rolled a 19 and rolled them anyway.
Hell yeah. There we go. If you haven't found anything at this point, besides just roving packs of corpses, return back to Tarian at your soonest convenience.
How are you?
Click. Nothing.
Oh, I think this thing's broken, Brenin. I'll toss it back to him.
Shall we head back?
We shall.
All right. For the sake of brevity and time, I'm not going to make you roll as you make your way back, since you already kind of know the way.
You mean I can't roll to make another fucking blizzard? Damn it.
Sorry.
I was seeing a talking squirrel.
Make a perception check if you want to see the talking squirrel.
11.
Don't see him. He's crafty.
Damn.
He hides
He's
pretty well.
dead.
As you make your way back to the stone fort of Tarian, what would you like to do? We're going to wrap up here in a bit, so that's why I'm kind of speeding through things, just in case we get the next few things going.
We'll go in.
If you guys are going into like report, I'm gonna stay separate with the rune.
I mean, there's not much to report, just mindless stuff that don't have an origin.
And
Taking all
nothing out there that will pose a threat to us.
Well, we will keep an eye on it and see if it develops further. You're sure that it's not connected to any sorceries of Gelen?
Or what we can tell, no. Or what we could tell, no sorcery of Gelen.
Fine. You have been requested back in Verlichite. Apparently the shield requires you for an investigation of some kind.
Not another one. Ugh.
Did he say our group or us two specifically, or?
I believe the words he said, you two and the strays you carried around with you.
Yes, I love being included.
Very well.
Before you leave, goes over, grabs a pouch, large pouch, sets it down in front of you. It is 25 gold for both Brenin and Oda, and it is
Nice.
10 gold for Auran and Primrose.
I'm not there.
I'll take it for Prim.
You can keep it.
What?
Prim isn't gonna take the money.
You may catch the next wagon as it appears.
Will do.
And
Were
with
you
a
the one
little
with
bit of...
Were you the one with the other sending stone?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Stone face.
Just Stonefist, walks away. Does not care about you.
I don't want to give away a magical item, but does he want the sending stone back?
Yes, he will request it back.
Damn it.
I just
Uno reverse,
I
he
didn't-
gives us his other sending stone.
No. It's
didn't
kind of
want
it'd be
to,
kind of like if like you went up to the president and the president gave you the phone number or like called you for something and then you went and asked for his phone after finishing an errand for him. No.
Sounds reasonable to me.
And eventually you do make your way back to Verlichite. And we'll kind of shorten this up because you're on the main road to catch a wagon. And as you approach Verlichite and go back to the shield and see his blue dragon form there, he greets you and says, "One of them came back." And we'll end right there.
That's steal more books. Steal more books. Steal more
one
books.
of the
One of them came back.
One of the
That's
missing
all we heard.
wizards.
Yeah.
And so we'll end there. Thank y'all for watching. Have a
Level
lovely time. You do get a level up, I'll say.
Yeah, let's go.
And now you will be better at things. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Swing and a Crit Miss. If you liked it, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And we hope we'll see you next time. See ya!